That's the way I keep it, man. I get fly for me. I get high for me. Don't get it confused, cause you liking what you see. Don't do it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Daredevil is seeking out an army to go up against Wilson Fisk. Who do you think is going to be a part of that army? Comment down below. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel if you guys are new here watching for the very first time. I think, honestly, it makes sense to reform the Defenders of New York, but with some room for other heroes. So, let's talk about the Defenders. That included Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones, right? If they form that team, it'll be fantastic. It's going to be great to have a reunion with all of those characters, but at the same exact time, you must remember all of those characters protect a certain portion of New York City. So in New York, ladies and gentlemen, I'm born and raised in the Bronx, so I primarily know a lot about New York. But for those of you that never lived in New York, we have what is known as upstate New York, and then we have what is known as the 5 boroughs of New York City. So within those 5 boroughs, you got Manhattan, right? So that's Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. Luke Cage represents Harlem, but Harlem is still in Manhattan to be exact. Then if you go over to Queens, you got Spider-Man, right? So Peter Parker. Do you think he's going to show up at some point? That'll be very, very interesting, considering the fact that he got completely rebooted. His mind is in shambles right now. He got reset, basically. So I don't know if he knows if Matt Murdock exists, but we do know that Matt probably knows who Peter Parker is, because they had that, they had that run-in back in Spider-Man's movie. Let's see, who else? She-Hulk. That's a little bit of a far-fetched, character to connect with, but it would be cool to see if they can team up once again. And I know it's going to be a little bit awkward because Matt has a brand new girlfriend now, so Jen probably doesn't know that. So imagine that interaction. It'll be really, really cool. And then, of course, not to mention, she's a powered individual and she has super strength, right? So to go up against Wilson Fisk, yeah, you're going to need some super strength. You feel me? Kate Bishop and Hawkeye. We know that Hawkeye loves his family. He's desperately trying to retire, but right now he's training Kate to be his next protege, right? To be his heir to the mantle, if you will. And I feel like he might want to come back and, step up for one last go around with the Kingpin, because if you guys remember, in the Hawkeye series, they had their run-in with the Kingpin. So it'll really be interesting to see if Matt sort of reaches out to an Avenger and reaches out to Kate Bishop. And since we're talking about Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, the Swordsman, we saw him. He's locked up in a cage, but if he manages to get out, I'm pretty certain that he's going to fight against, Kingpin. So it'll be interesting if Matt can, sort of like reach out to him as well. I think Matt had his suspicion from the beginning when he seen him at the party. So he probably knows that he's a vigilante. Let's see. Who else? I mentioned Kate Bishop. I mentioned Hawkeye. I mentioned the Defenders. We got Miss Marvel. She's a younger age, but, any help that Matt can basically get at this point is desperately needed. We see the fact that Wilson Fisk's powers are still at a massive brute level. He freaking crushed the skull of the police commissioner, separated his freaking jaw from his face. That was intense. So graphic and brutal, and I loved every second of it. I love the fact that Disney was allowing that to stay within the script, and I love the fact that it aired, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't, like bleep it out or anything. They showed it. So it was really cool. Let's see. Who else? Who else is in New York City? there's a lot of people. Elektra, if you want to go down that route. Who knows where she is right now, but if the hand is not in control anymore, then she could be of service. Echo, I don't really think Matt communicated with her well enough, but if anyone wants to get at Kingpin the most, it's probably her. And the fact that, she shot him at the end of her series and he ends up being still alive, maybe, just maybe, she might want to, sort of like get some revenge, you know what I mean? He definitely manipulated her in a certain way that made her, feel uncomfortable. And that's, let's not forget her brother got killed. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of tension if she ends up surfacing back and coming to New York and discovering that the Kingpin is still alive. So yeah, those are all the possible names that I can come up with. Some of the most obvious ones that I did not list are, Doctor Strange, Steve Rogers' version of Captain America. Iron Man obviously is dead, so there's a reason as to why I didn't mention those names, but those are all of the New York prospects that protect certain parts of the city, and those are all of the names that I can think of. If I'm missing any, feel free to fill in the blanks. But like I said, comment down below, who do you think is going to be a part of this army? Who do you think Matt is going to reach out to? And who do you think is going to get a spin-off series? We do know that officially there is a Punisher series coming, and we do know that Punisher was captured by Wilson Fisk, but he also escaped the capture by breaking someone's arm and, basically turning it into a pretzel. So he definitely escaped his little prison cell that he was being held in. And we do know that he teamed up with Matt previously and went through the task force like paper. But we don't know if he's going to be, of service again. He could just possibly be on the run. But if Matt can, get through to him and get him to fight on his side, that'd be great as well.
Tryna make my mama proud of me. I hope my mama proud of me, cause I dubbed college just so I could focus on a dream. I know my mama died of me, salute me, now she down with me. Now two bros going back and forth, sibling rivalry. Who this side gotta be, do numbers like the lottery. The coldest every winter, every summer, nothing hot as me. And if I spring up, bet my nigga on the side of me, ready for a war.